What is going on, everybody? I am Benningfield. Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to double down on the reviews. We're in the Terabyte right now. I'm going to review some of the little features it has, the pros, the cons of it, and let you decide whether it's something you would be interested in purchasing. And we got the Oppressor MKII, which is stored inside of it, at least mine is. And this combo, they kind of work together, so I want to review them together. But first off, the Terabyte, one of the big negatives to it is the price, and not only like the sticker price, but all your customization and your upgrades you have to do on it, and the paywall to get it. You do have to own a nightclub to own it, so you have to buy that for at least, I think the cheapest is a little over $1 million. And the Terabyte itself starts at 1,375,000, and we have probably around 500,000, maybe a little over, in cosmetic customizations. Then if you want the drone station, that's another 800,000. The weapon workshop is another 245,000, and then the bay where you can customize your Mark II oppressor is another 500,000. So altogether you spend like almost 3.4 million, and then if you customize the speed aspects and the cosmetics of the outside of it, once you have it at your nightclub, you're talking a few hundred more thousand. So you're close to 4 million for this thing if you max it all the way out, which some of the stuff you can skip, like the drone. It's pretty cool. You can fly them around, you can get close to people, you can tase them, and you can even explode it. Other than the mission that it's used for, though, I could see where this will be, I mean, pretty obsolete. You'll use it a little bit, then you'll get tired of it, I'm sure. Same with when you're in the cab, you can scan other players. I enjoy doing it. I've been having fun with that, but again, that's something that the new will wear off and it'll get old. And then we have the turret station right here, and it's supposed to lock on to up to 5 vehicles at a time, which is pretty cool, but I don't know how well that thing really works. I've played around with it very little, but I don't think it's the greatest weapon in the game. But I think it was around 300,000 if you wanted to buy that too. So I mean, all in all, most people are going to spend all the money. But we'll get into the main part of it, is how you're going to make money with it. You'll go to this little touch screen right here. First, I have to register as a CEO or VIP, or CEO, VIP, or biker MC. All right, we'll scan it, and you have the client jobs, that gives you these 4 you can do solo, and they actually pay decent, 30 or 31,000 depending on which one you do. And you can do it in a free mode lobby, any kind of lobby. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be in a public session. And the 2 down here, you have to have at least one other person in your MC, but they only pay 13,000, so they're really not even worth doing, especially the hassle you have to find somebody else. But these aren't bad if you want to make a little extra money just goofing off. And then we have the vehicle cargo you can order, the gun running supplies, the biker supplies, air freight, and your special cargo. I've used it mostly for the special cargo, and I'll get into that in a minute. Your air freight cargo, the downside to using it for that, well, it's not really a downside, but you can start your first mission, like if you're in the city and you have your Terabyte, you can start it, and that's fine, and you'll deliver it to your hangar. But once you deliver the first one, you're going to be at your hangar anyway, and that is where you can start them. So it doesn't save you that much time, really. I mean, maybe a minute or 2 on the very first one. And then once you have your cargo as full as you want, or you're done doing that, if you want to move on to something else, you can start it from there, and it'll save you the time of traveling to that business. So it's slightly helpful, not that great. And that kind of echoes for the gun running supplies and the biker supplies. If you're in the city, or if you're not near your certain particular business, and you're wanting to fill the supplies all the way up, which will take multiple runs, yeah, the very first one you'll save the time because you'll start it. But once you get to your bunker, or once you get to your biker business, you're already going to be there, so you can start the supply run from it, and then just go back and forth. And again, once you completely fill those supplies, then you could use the Terabyte from outside that business to move on to the next one. So it's slightly helpful, but not over the top. I think where this really shines is your vehicle cargo and your special cargo, and more so the special cargo, because the vehicle cargo, you can do your vehicle run, you'll be at your vehicle supply workshop, but it still has the cooldown time before you can source another one. So really, you're going to waste that time traveling to your office anyway to do it again. But so it's it can be helpful if you're out, if you want to do other things and not have to sit there and wait at your office for it to be ready. You can go out and do some other things and restart it. And the absolute best though is the special cargo. I've been using it a lot with this and I really enjoy it. And what it does is I don't have to go back to my office. I have if you have multiple warehouses is where it's going to help. I have 5 large warehouses, so it helps a lot for me. I do my cargo run, I deliver them to that warehouse, and I just quick call my Terabyte to me at that warehouse, and I start the next one. It cuts down on your travel time to your office, which from the best I can tell, and I've been running quite a few of them, it saves you roughly a minute at least per run, which doesn't sound like a whole lot, but you're talking a large warehouse is 36, 37 runs to fill it up. And then if you have, so that's at least 30 minutes you're saving. And then if you multiply that by however many warehouses you have, like I said, you do have to have at least 2 so you don't have the cooldown timer. But if you have 2 or more, it's really going to save you quite a bit of time. I'd say if you had 5 warehouses you're running and you're trying to fill them all up, it could save you as much as 2 to 3 hours. So I mean, it really cuts down the time. And not only that, once you start it, we'll back out. And once you start it, you can just hop on your oppressor and take off. You just fly out. That's what I do. If something does happen to the Oppressor Mark II gets destroyed, or once I got knocked off, I got shot off of it and it was hovering. But anything like that happens, you can still quick call in your buzzard and finish out that crate run. So is it for everybody? Probably not, but I do feel like this is if you are a solo money grinder, first off, if you have plenty of money, because it is going to be kind of expensive once you start buying nightclubs and buying the Terabyte and customizing it and getting your Mark II oppressor and customizing it, you're looking at probably close to around 8 million or as high as 10 million maybe, depending on what you do to it and depending on which nightclub you get and all that stuff. But anyway, that's beside the point. But if you have plenty of money and you are a solo money grinder, and especially if you focus on your crates, this is a very helpful thing to have. And even with that big price tag, I do suggest the Terabyte, and along with that, the oppressor. And another good thing about the Terabyte, or I don't know if it's a good thing, but it is something that is keep on your mind when you're purchasing it. You do have to have it to customize your Oppressor Mark II. So even if you're just wanting that, you would still need the nightclub, the Terabyte, and the Oppressor Mark II, and customize it. The good thing, if you own a nightclub and you do buy the Terabyte, if you own the Terabyte and you do 5 of these client missions, I'll go back in there and show you real quick. You only have to do 5 of these client jobs. You can do the same one over and over, and you don't even have to be successful. If you start one and you fail it, it still counts toward the 5, just so you know. But doing that, it gives you $1 million off the Oppressor Mark II, so that's not bad at all. And you can get it on the Warstock. Both of them you buy on Warstock. You go in, there's your Terabyte. And the Mark II, you can see mine is 2,925,000. It's roughly $1 million more. I think it's like 3.8 something if you don't do the missions. But if you already have the Terabytes, you might as well do them, save $1 million. And if you don't have the Terabyte and you do buy it for the full price, you can, and it'll store in a regular garage, but you can't customize it with the Terabyte. That is why I really suggest the Terabyte if you're going to own the Mark II oppressor for, one, the simple fact you can customize it and you can add the missiles or the explosive rounds that you're going to want to add. And not only that, it saves you a garage space because it stores itself in the Terabyte. And as far as the oppressor itself, it's pretty maneuverable. And another good thing, if you're doing just like motorcycle club stuff, it counts as a motorcycle, so you can quick call it back to you using your NC interaction menu, and you can send it back just like the other oppressor is. As far as the speed, you have the one single boost, but you have to come to a complete stop before it recharges, so that's kind of the downside. There's a speed glitch where you can bounce up and down like I'm doing now. It kind of speeds it up a little bit, but actually across the map it's slightly slower than the original oppressor if you're good at using it, which is difficult because you have to touch the ground, then take off again, touch the ground, continue to do that, and it's fairly easy to fall off of this. I'll try to run into something, but see, like I'm bumping into stuff and I'm not falling off of it easy. It kind of goes up, and I drove this thing straight up a wall once, so it's very convenient. The biggest downside of this thing is the landing it. You can't just hover straight down, you have to come in for a landing like an airplane. But as far as the maneuverability, that's the only downside to this thing that I see. So if you run a lot of CEO crates, I use it for that, and not because it comes straight out of the Terabyte. Plus, you can quick call it through the Terabyte service. You have Terabyte service. You can return the Terabyte to your storage, and I suggest doing that on your crate runs. Return it to the storage when you're on your way back to your warehouse. That way, once you get out of your warehouse, it's already in storage, and you can request it. Saves you a little bit of time. And through this menu, you can also request your Mark II oppressor, and it spawns right next to you. And you can do the return to garage and quick call it back with your MC club. So it's pretty convenient for that. And even at the 2.9, so you're talking like 3.5 probably once you customize it and put your weapons on it. So I mean, it's a lot to spend. So you have to have a lot of money. But for the people that it's really designed for, I think it's a useful. They're both useful tools to have if you're a solo money grinder. And a lot of people are talking about how this is going to be like killing free mode and be the next like griefer tool. I don't really feel that it is. I mean, of course it's weaponized so they can use it as a griefing tool, but I feel like they have better options for cheaper when it comes to that. But I really feel like it's more lean toward the solo grinder. You can use these weapons against the NPCs to help you on your runs. If you are in a solo, or if you're not in a solo public lobby, if you're in a public lobby and there's people attacking you, you can defend yourself a little bit. It does add flares, as you can see, so you don't have to worry about them if they do lock onto you, and then you have some pretty accurate rockets to defend yourself with. So there's a lot of pros to this thing. The biggest negative to the Oppressor Mark II, I would have to say, would be the price, and then a distant second would be the landing. It is a little rough to land, especially if you're trying to go straight down. But as far as my opinion, guys, for me personally, I love it because this is catered for what I do, which I feel like a lot of the After Hour DLC was. It's catered for like the money grinder, especially the solo money grinder. Your all your underground businesses in your nightclub are very solo user friendly, and now they've added the Terabyte and the Oppressor Mark II. And if you use these and combine them with your I still use the buzzard every now and then, like I said, if this gets destroyed, but combine it with your other vehicles you already have and combine it with your businesses, it really helps out the solo money grinder. So if you have, we're looking at close to 10 million by the time you buy the nightclub, so but most of us should already have that at this point, so you're still talking like 7 million-ish. If you have the money, and by that I mean at least double of what the cost is going to be, that way you have some extra spending money, especially if you're buying crates, because you will need money for those. I say go ahead and get it. If not, grind, keep your grind on, and once you get the money built up, get them. They are very helpful tools. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say on the subject. I know I'm a little later than everybody else on this, but I did want to, I've watched several videos on it, and I've been playing around with this thing a lot, so I wanted to give you my honest opinions on it and what I think they're good for and what it's not so good for. But I hope that helps you out, guys, and if it does, please, man, hit that sub button, hit the like button on y'all's way out, and follow me on Twitter, Benningfield01. We always tweet when a live stream starts and a video drops, and I appreciate it, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.